Welcome, Coven members. We are back and we are going to do our quarter one ranking. So this is January, February, and March of 2025. How many books did you read in quarter one?
I think it was 17.
17? That's
Yeah.
like amazing.
I know. January was good to me because I had some time off from work.
There you
and then
go.
I read a whole bunch of like short little books.
Really like getting ahead.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah, I had a friend let me borrow some books, so I was like dedicated to reading them and giving them back because she gave me 2 and then my dog ate them.
Well, I read 12 in quarter one, so I thought that was pretty good. Well, so you got sick in February, I got sick in January, and so that's actually why I have 12, I feel like. I don't think I would hit double digits if I didn't get sick. So we're going to rank from our least favorite to our favorite just in quarter one. At the end of the year, we're going to do a nice little bracket. It'll be fun. Oh, and this is Small Pig. Say hello, Small Pig. He is very needy and always needs attention. Since you read more than me, let's start with your least favorite.
So there are a couple books that I'm just gonna bypass. The last one that I'd rank is I read Haunted Love. And not that I didn't love that book, or I enjoyed it. It was like a brother's best friend, kind of like enemies to lovers and a little bit of bully. It's, dark romance
Gotcha.
series. But I loved it. I thought it was cute at the end of it. So, and I think it has another book to it that I plan on reading.
So is this a yes, no, or maybe?
I would say yes if you like dark romance and read your trigger warning.
My least favorite that I've read in quarter one was Gold by Raven Kennedy.
That makes me sad.
I just really think that the end of this series has just been drawn out too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to speak too much about this right now because I'm in the middle of Goldfinch and I have really strong feelings right now.
Mm.
I will say this. The Plated Prisoner series is somebody's favorite series. Somebody absolutely loves it, eats it up, whatever.
But not yours.
I am not, it's not me. I'm not that somebody, but that's okay.
But why do you think that what makes it not one of your favorites?
I think the writing style does not resonate with me. So I found myself comparing it to like Throne of Glass in the sense of, Throne of Glass is a longer series, this big epic journey. And I mean, Plated Prisoner is kind of the same thing. I feel like it's trying to do something similar. I think that I just don't look as fondly on the cast of characters as much as I do other longer forms of series. So like these really long paragraphs of like how a character feels. Like if Manon did that in Throne of Glass, I'd be eating it up. But like when these characters do it, I think because I'm not as connected, I'm just kind of like, okay, come on, let's go. She is very detailed in her writing style. So again, if you love those characters, like you're going to eat it up.
Yes, no, or maybe.
Oh, yes, or read them all back to back. I waited a long time in between books. So I would say maybe.
Well, the next one is hard for me because I read a series by Fae of Snow and Ice by Krista Street, and they're all like short books, probably like 300 pages.
Oh, nice.
Most. Maybe a little bit more. But anyway, they're just super quick reads, and the opposite of the Plated Prisoner series, there is not very detailed. It is just straight to the point, but it gave me enough to really enjoy the characters, and I love a book that I can laugh out of, and I enjoy the story. There was a point where I felt like in the third book where I was like getting a little bit bored, and maybe in like some of book 4, but like the ending kind of like redeemed itself. There's this old man that they come across, and he really made me love that, like finished it out strong, because
Gotcha.
I really enjoyed the first book, especially if you're coming off of like, if you like romantasy, and then you want to not be dedicated to like 5,000 worth of pages to read.
So it might be something to read like towards the end when you're trying to hit that reading goal.
Yes.
Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
My next one was the Lightlark series. I read 2 of 3 that are out so far, so that is Lightlark and Nightbane. I'm already going to go ahead and give my yes, no, maybe. I'm going to say yes if you are new to fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what my problem is with it, because it is YA, upper YA, I would say for sure, but I think that it just hits so many things that I've already read before, and I've seen it done better, or in ways that I like more. But I will continue the series. Like, I'm going to finish it, because I'm in it now.
Yeah.
I have a hard time quitting, you know, in the middle of a series. I would say that if you are brand new to fantasy, or you kind of want to dip your toe into fantasy, this is like an awesome book. That's my primary genre.
The next book that I put on my list would be Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, which again, love that book. So I rated it pretty high. The reason why I loved it is like a lot of strong emotions, made me like really angry.
A white author takes a Asian author's work after she passes away and tries to pass it off as her own.
Yes. Yeah. Just kind of like
it was a book club book, guys.
It was a book club book. Words are failing me. Yeah, so angry because of just all like, you know, racism and dealing with a lot of like issues that you see all the time and addressing that, and then just kind of like oblivious to the world. So it was a good book. I think it really sheds light to a lot of problems, and I would suggest it.
So yes.
Yeah.
My next one was Spills for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. I really liked it. It gave cozy mystery, I don't know if thriller is quite the word, but cozy mystery I would say for sure. But it definitely had some like twists and turns that I kind of wasn't expecting. It was the perfect book to read after Onyx Storm. Because it was just, it still had a touch of magic, but like that was not like the focal point. It was about people. And I want to read more of Adrienne Young because I felt so immersed. I felt like I was on that island, but I wasn't bogged down with like, okay, the cup is red, blah, blah, like, but it just set the scene and then went with the story.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to read more of her. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. I really liked it. The ending threw me off.
That is, again, another book club book.
Yes.
It didn't even make my list because the ending.
Oh, so, okay, so you're not even talking about it today.
It's a no for me.
Okay.
I did enjoy it. I loved it until the end. And then it lost me because I was just like, I like a book. One, if it doesn't have an epilogue, then at least give me something. Like, don't just like leave me hanging wondering like what the neighbor is doing that like you wrote about the whole entire time. You know, it's just like, I need to know what is happening.
Yeah.
With at least, and that's another thing about the book is that there's just so many people in that book. So just to like kind of like wrap it up, so I don't know, it felt very quick, especially with like how short the book is and like how much detail. I really, really liked it and like grew to love those characters.
I would say yes still.
I would say maybe.
I'm not trying to peer pressure you.
Yeah.
I understand, yeah, but I would still say yes if you're looking for a cozy vibe. But to be perfectly honest, I have not read too many cozy stories, so once I get to the point where I do, I might change my mind. I don't know.
Hopefully those other cozies will have an epilogue. The next one on mine was Lightlark. Okay. And I've only read the first book, and I agree with you. This was rough because I was going back and forth on like the Fae of Snow and Ice series with Lightlark.
Yeah.
Because I've completed that and I really do enjoy it. But I can see how people would want more. With Lightlark, I've only read the first book, but I really like it a lot. It is YA. All the reasons that you've already said, I completely agree. I haven't read the second book. I'll finish it. We went and saw her, so I had to...
She was so wonderful.
So nice.
Very, very nice. So yeah, it was so lovely meeting her.
Yeah. And how young she is and how well she's doing. Yeah. Super excited for her.
And she works hard.
Well, and it's going to become a show, right?
Yeah, and I'm very excited for it. I will be watching it. Okay, so yes, no, maybe.
I would say yes.
I did Yellowface next on mine. So we're pretty similar, I would say, in our ranking. All the reasons you said, I think it is a very important book. I think if you are interested in the publishing industry at all, it gives you some good information about that I just, because I know that, like, it's its own animal. R.F. Kuang really, like, intimidated me because I know she is such an intelligent human being. And so I knew Yellowface was short. It was my pick for the book club. I was very excited. And I really want to read The Poppy War. That's my plan, to read it this summer. And so I was like, this is a way to dip my toe to see if I'm, like, in over my head. And so I'm not intimidated anymore, but, like, I just know that she's going to rip my heart out when I read The Poppy War.
Yeah.
So I would say yes.
Next one would be Zodiac Academy by Carolyn Peckham and Susan Valenti. And I had only read the first book at this point. And I understand people's problem, I guess, with the writing. I'm not really like a critiquer on so much with writing. It was a little hard sometimes with like some sentence structure, but I loved it so much that I didn't care. Following two girls that believe they're human their whole life, except for one day they're not, and they go to school, Zodiac, and find out that they're actually princesses, and they need to complete the school to get their inheritance, because they're poor and they grew up on the streets of Chicago, so they need some money. And then so it's a bully romance. I love it because the magic in it, the whole system is different than what I'm used to. I do feel like it's like Hunger Games and even Harry Potter. So if you liked Hunger Games, you liked Harry Potter, you like ACOTAR, this is for you, because then it also has like every mythical creature you could ever think of, like Basilisk to Pegasus to Griffins. It was great, and I love it, and so it's a yes for me.
My next one is the Belladonna series by Adeline Grace. It was very good. It's YA. I would say it's probably true YA. I would say it's more in the YA category than like Lightlark. That was my COVID read when I had COVID, was Belladonna. It gives kind of like the gothic vibes for sure. Death is a character. It's about a particular person in the first two, and then it kind of switches for the third one. And that threw me off. But I know a lot of people love the third one the best. Really, my only true critique about it was, like, it did throw me off, the third, but I really liked it. But there is a very pivotal character, I would say that's a romantic interest, in the first two, that did not get fleshed out nearly as much. It was definitely more so like, this is the person I'm supposed to fall in love with, so here they are. More so than us really getting to know them and, like, really seeing, like, the compatibility. I feel like if it was an adult trilogy, that maybe it would have done that a little bit more. So again, I don't want to like knock it too much for that, but I really, really liked it. I'd say it's solid.
Wait, I thought that there's a fourth book.
It's a novella that's coming out later this year called Holly. Also, like, Belladonna, like, could have been a standalone too. So
You've
like,
been happy?
yeah, I would have been happy too. But I liked them all. I would recommend it for sure.
All three of them?
I liked all three of them. Yeah, for sure. Wisteria, I would say like kind of the first half of it was a little predictable. Definitely felt a little YA to me. But then like the second half happens and you're like, oh, okay. I gotta figure out what happens. So, and I almost threw it across the room, but then it had an epilogue, and I'm like, okay, thank God.
Have to have those
You
epilogues.
have to. You have to read the epilogue to Wisteria. You have to.
Okay, I did a little accident. I did mean to say that my next one on the list would have been Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
So it's before or after Zodiac for you? Actually.
I would say that it is after Zodiac for me.
Okay, gotcha. Meaning like it's better or...
This one's really hard because, like, I've already read some more of Zodiac and I'm already so in love. But at that point, I probably would say that it is after still. About a woman who is also trying to become a writer, and there's this really famous woman who was an actress in the, like, 60s, 50s, I forget what year. She actually has had 7 husbands, and she has never explained, kind of like given her life story. So she has reached out to this woman, and she's like, I want you to write my kind of biography. It was good. The ending had a crazy twist to it. I don't know if that book has trigger warnings, but I would definitely look into it. Yeah, it's a yes for me.
My next one is The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. It was so good. I really, really liked it. The twist at the end I thought was pretty good. I feel like I am very critical of twists in thriller books. So, but I liked it. Is it my favorite twist I've ever read? No. That would be The Teacher from Freida McFadden. So I read it because we went and saw her. And then when I realized that it was a sequel, I was like, how? And I finished The Perfect Marriage. I'm like, how is there a sequel? Now, I haven't read The Perfect Divorce yet. I plan on doing that soon.
I'm waiting for the audiobook.
Right, yeah.
She said 6 narrators.
I really liked it. It's a great thriller. I've heard really great things about The Perfect Divorce so far. Plan on reading it this year. So yeah, it's...
And she'd become a New York Times bestseller.
Yes, I recommend. Highly.
I agree. Okay, so next on my list was Quicksilver by Kelly Hart. Love, 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 love. I'm behind on it. Read it kind of late, but following Saris, who, and it gives me such, again, Hunger Game vibes. If you love the Vampire Diaries, this is for you. I enjoyed it so much, but I also listened to it on audiobook.
The audiobook is great, I've heard.
It's so good. Yeah, you gotta be picky about audiobooks. Audiobook for Quicksilver, I would say yes.
My second favorite, and I've bundled 2, is The Shades of Magic. Well, I read the first 2 in quarter 1 by V.E. Schwab. So, Darker Shades of Magic and A Gathering of Shadows. Man, gosh, I love this series so much. I love the characters. I love the magic in it. I love the plot. I love the atmosphere. I love it so much. It's just, I don't understand why this series is not more hyped. I don't get it.
Hasn't it been out for a while too?
The first book came out in 2015. And I just don't understand why it's not more hyped. I love it. It's a solid story. I think that's why I like it so much. I think because so many fantasy series, I think, are trying to just make it a huge, like, universe and blow it up with, and they just make it too complicated. And I'm fine with complicated to a degree, but there's times where it gets silly. Like Fourth Wing, for example, I don't think it's silly. I think the lore is there. I think it's a very solid story so far and everything. You know, when I read House of Flame and Shadow, I kind of got a little bit of, it's getting a little silly. This isn't too complicated, but, like, it's still interesting. Mm-hmm. Like, and you kind of don't know what the characters are going to do, but these characters feel so real to me. Mm-hmm. They feel like real people, and they have, like, their personality traits, and they're very different from each other. I could compare them to some other characters I've read, but there's a couple of them that I can't. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm just like, dang. I feel like a lot of our FMCs sometimes you can kind of compare and very similar to each other, and this one's just very different for me. So I just really love that series so much.
Well, and it also goes to show you that, like, you don't need 1,000 pages in a fantasy book to make it a good book.
No. Yeah, it's very concise. The only reason why I don't, like, shout this from the rooftops more, like, honestly, I probably recommend One Dark Window more than I recommend this, because I can see why some people wouldn't like it, or wouldn't, like, love it like I do. Yes, hype it up, read the trilogy.
This would be my number one.
Your favorite.
We
might as well say it at the same time, because it's the same for both.
I mean, obviously, it's Onyx Storm.
It's Onyx Storm. That's our favorite book of quarter one. How can it be anything else at this point?
I still think about that book, and it is months later.
Yeah.
And I am going to patiently wait for the next book.
Because she's taking a break and she deserves it.
It's fine. We'll wait. We'll be patient. There's plenty of other books that we need to read in the meantime.
That is very true. If you're into audiobooks, highly, 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 highly recommend the graphic audio for Fourth Wing series. Man, so good.
It is top tier. Mm-hmm. I think it's the best audio book. All the characters match with what because I read the first book, and then she listened to the graphic audio first, and then she like told us about it, and I was just like, all right, well, I'll give it a go. And because I hadn't listened to a graphic audio, it is a movie in your mind.
I would say the whole story arc of Fourth Wing is really, it's really top tier. And I mean, it's popular for a reason. I hate to, like, jump on a bandwagon, but truly, like, it really is that good. I understand why it's so popular.
Yeah, I will jump on that bandwagon, and I will fully take pride in it.
I can understand why some people would say that Onyx Storm has a little bit of filler in it, but I disagree. Mm-hmm. But I also think, let's go all the way back to the beginning when I was talking about gold, right? There's a lot of filler in gold, but if you love those characters, you might not care. Mm-hmm. I love these characters, so I don't care.
How can you not love Riddick?
The only, like, thing about it is, like, I truly feel like I'm just now, like, really differentiating the different characters, the side characters and stuff.
Yeah.
So I wish we could have done that a little bit sooner, but, you know, we're not talking about the whole series. We're just talking about Storm today. But no, it's a really good series. I really, really like it. I would make sure it's not your very first fantasy that you ever read. Read Lightlark first. Read Belladonna first. Dip your toe into it, and then go into it.
And I feel like whenever you go into, like, a book that, like, the next book, if you get left off on a cliffhanger, you usually get some sort of resolution to that cliffhanger in the previous book. I will say for Onyx Storm, that is not the case. No. You go in with, like, a couple, like, what's gonna happen, and leave with, like, oh my goodness, everything is wrong. So many questions, so many cliffhangers, so many loose ends, and that is, I think, why it's such a good book.
It's usually kind of one cliffhanger, but how she incorporated multiple cliffhangers into the last few chapters. It's insane to me.
And you know, she always does those, like, Easter eggs, so you can, like, I mean, and as soon as it came out, like, everybody, I mean, I was sending her, like, theories of, like, what is or, like, what's gonna happen, or what we think is going on, to the point where she's like, I don't want to know, because it's gonna, like, hype me up, and then, like, something else is gonna happen.
Because that's what happened with House of Flame and Shadow for me. And whenever the fourth Wing book comes out, I'm going to try to stay away as much as I can.
Yeah. I spiraled.
Thanks for watching. What was your favorite books of quarter one? What was your least favorite books of quarter one? Make sure to follow Some Fable on Instagram to join our book club, and we'll see you next time. Bye.